Hey, so if you followed along with part one, we should have this game right here where we can run into the cars, lose lives, and boom. But not much else is happening. So we're going to continue on. We're going to create some type of projectile that we can use to destroy the enemies and get points. So we're going to start with on button A. We're going to be launching a projectile. So let's go ahead, select our projectile, and I'm just going to use this guy right here. Boom. And we're going to say we got to tell it where to launch from. A lot of people miss this step. This is all it's saying is where do you want it to start? Think. We want it to start from our player car, right? And now if you go in, you'll see it's going down diagonal. So if you look at this, it's saying move 50 units to the right, move 50 units down. So we don't want to move horizontal at all. We want this just to be straight, and you'll see this is now going backwards. So let's say go forwards. Boom. And look at that. So now I want to make this so we can't just spam this along though. So I added in the extension status bar already. You should find it in here. But yeah, so go add that in. And let's on start. We're going to create a status bar. And if you look at this, this will kind of change the color of it. So this is going to be like a health bar. This would be like a magic bar. Whatever you think is going to make the most sense. I think I use energy bar. But notice, it's just sitting in the middle of the screen because we haven't told it where to go. So let's make sure we're saying attach the status bar to player car. And depending on how your game's set up, I usually will add like some type of padding or offset. I think I did like -15 maybe. Let's do like -22. Boom. And I'm going to leave it at that. So this is what's going to actually represent our ammo. This is what I'm going to use to represent ammo. And I'm going to set this up. Every time I hit A, I'm going to change its value by -10. Now, it defaults to 100. So if you watch in here, every time I hit it, it's going to go, oh, actually, you know, one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set its background color to be a color I can actually see. So now, there you go. So you see, as we fire our projectiles, it goes down, and boom. But we're not doing anything with it. So we're going to add a basic if statement in here. And all we're going to say is if the value in our status bar, if the status bar's value is greater than 10, we have to have at least 10 to fire in a shot, do that. So now you see we can't fire anymore. So what we need to do is we need to set up some way for this to slowly replenish. What I did is I grabbed one of these on-game updates, and I set it up so like every 2 seconds, I think I got back, I don't know, like maybe one, I don't remember. You can kind of play around with this, see what's going to make the most sense for your game, and if you see, it should slowly, boom, there we go. That's a slow amount, so let's do like every 1 second you get 2. Let's try something like that. And you see slowly filling back up. Boom. So now we have to make sure these projectiles actually do something, because right now they're not doing anything. So let's find our overlaps block. And it's going to be similar to what we're doing here, but this time we're going to say when a projectile overlaps an enemy. And watch, we can pretty much just copy and paste. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to destroy the enemies. So if you see, boom. Now, this is kind of a game design question. I like to destroy my projectiles when they hit the cars. Some people don't, but I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to duplicate this and make sure I'm also destroying this one. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that block. So what that would do is if you see, we'll play. It would destroy both the projectile and the car. Boom. So don't we also want to have this explosion pop up the same way? So what we could do is we could duplicate 1, 2, 3, 4 and put them in here. But what I actually found works better is if you grab this on destroyed block, we could say every time we destroy an enemy, because think, this is destroying an enemy, this is going to destroy an enemy. Every time we destroy an enemy, we want to create our explosion. Now, this is going to pop up an error, because it's not going to know it. Oh, it automatically did that. I'm surprised by that. Look at that. So sometimes this pops up an error. If it does, what you a lot of times you need to do is drag this into here and tell it what sprite to look at. So now you'll see if you test your game. Boom. Boom. And if I hit it, same idea. Let's also make sure we get some points. We should get points when we shoot them. Look at that. Boom. And look at that. Now, one more thing I wanted to do is very similar to what we're doing here. I wanted to create a second type of obstacle that doesn't get destroyed. So I'm pretty much just going to, I'm going to almost duplicate everything exactly in here, but there's going to be one small change we're going to do. I probably could have just duplicated the entire block, but I did it the hard way. So we're going to make a new variable this time. I'm going to call this cone. And I used, I used this thing. This looked kind of like a traffic cone to me. And we're going to have to make this a new kind of enemy. And I'm just going to call this traffic cone. Cone, cone, cone. Boom, boom, boom. Now if you see, play our game. But what we should probably do is this should probably have the same speed as our game scrolls. Because you see how that looks a little goofy? So let's go here. And look at that. So now we have a second type of obstacle. So that means we're going to need something similar. Something similar to what we're doing here. So I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to do when we hit a traffic cone this time. And boom, you see we lose a life. And look at that. So we have sort of a real game going right now. Couple real obstacles, couple real objectives. And just keep surviving. Oh my gosh, I'm not good at my own game. We'll go full screen for a minute. So, check it out. Hopefully that makes sense. Have some fun with it.